In today's video, we're going to talk about a new nail technician's 1-year plan. We're going to lay it out for you. This is what you got to do to find some success right now. Biz Talk. Tracy?
Hubby?
I feel like you're on the porch and you have a bell and you're like, hubby.
Oh, babe, come get
Like,
dinner.
Like I'm a pet. I'm like going to get my yeah. And like you put out the slop for me and I'm like, little piggy.
Went from a dog to a pig.
Yeah, well, same thing. Dogs and pigs are very similar. Did you not know that? Pigs are smart. Why do we eat them? Why don't we eat dogs? Weird. It's conversation.
Ooh, bacon and ham. Delicious.
Sorry, piggies. I like pigs. They're supposed to be like very cute. And okay, enough of this. We're going off on a completely different topic here. Okay, nail technician's 1-year plan. If you are new, okay, and what we're talking about here is you've gotten your license. Okay, post license. So
Yay.
Yay. Congratulations. You've done the hard work. You went to school, you passed your exams, and you passed state board. Bam, it's time for business, Tracy. A 1-year plan, I think, is such a great way. And it's easy to digest, right? It's a great way for a tech to get started, is like to lay this out. So I'm excited about this episode because I feel like we're going to give a little bit of guidance and some framework of like, this is what you got to do. But here's the thing, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're wrong. Just say it.
You're wrong.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Tell me to. You're the boss. You're the CEO. You're wrong.
CEO. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the thing that I feel like a lot of beginner nail techs, the big mistake that they do is we're going to lay out this big plan for them. Okay. And we're going to say,
it's a big plan.
You have to do this every single day. It is going to be a grind. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be gnarly. If you do this, you have such a high chance of building your business and having success. The problem is I could see they'll start and they'll like the first couple months and it's going to be hard and they're like, I don't see results and they're going to give up. But you can't stop. However we lay this out, you've got to write it out for the full 12 months.
I just have don't stop.
Believing you are a nail tech that's going to find success. Okay, we're going to stop now. Tracy, can we lay this out, please?
I'm all laid out.
You got your license. What's the plan of action here? Like, start me out with something. Like let's break it up into like maybe some sections here. Like in the beginning, the first 3-4 months, what should be the focus?
Yeah, I was going to say we need to break this apart because 1 year's too overwhelming, really, for especially what needs to take place in the first month or two. First, we have to be finding work, right? We need to be finding where we're going. But there's other things that should have already been taking place even before you finalized and got your license, which is practicing, right?
Of course.
That should have been all the education you can take in, all the practicing you can do. Also, I had my place booked before I graduated, so I had a place to go to. So you can also be looking prior to getting your license and getting that kind of situated and planning. What am I looking for? Do I want commission? Do I want to, do I want a booth rent? What is it? What area am I going in? So doing your research in that, talking to other nail techs. There's a lot going on in your first month.
That seems like should be top of the priority list, right? Right there. What you said is, I got to make a decision of commission or
booth rent.
Like, so you need to sort that out. So that way you have am I hitting salons or am I looking for spaces at, what do they call them? The
suites and
the
stuff.
Suites,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, and also that also determines like, what do I need? Now, if I'm going into a place where they're supplying everything, I don't need stuff. Like, why waste that money? But if I'm going to be going into a booth rent or a situation where I have to provide, then I need to maybe start planning on what are my needs? What are my wants? What are my in between those two things? What am I going to get? So that determining kind of where you're going to land after you graduate and get your license is a vital piece.
Okay, so let's that's massive actually, because it really does dictate what you're going to do. So let's do this. I'm assuming for commission, we're going to make this assumption, okay? If you decide you're going commission, well then you don't have to worry about supplies, and they should be bringing in, the salon should be responsible for bringing in the customers as well, the marketing of the business.
Yeah, that's the bonus of commission, right?
Right.
There's a couple things that happen when you're doing commission. You know, a lot of times they'll help your journey. They'll help you learn how to do nails. They take it very slowly about what you're going to do on the floor. You know, this is the way it should be.
Right.
Hopefully.
We're going to assume that
they're going to help you in a proper way to make sure you grow and you're successful and you're maintaining clients, right? Promoting you, and not having you do things that are over your head, and then training you on what is over your head. And then also supplying the good products for you and all that. So that should be, you know, that's the bonus of going straight from school into a commission place.
Commission, right. Now I feel like that's a path that's more kind of laid out. There's a lot less worries, so to speak, because you're being employed, so you're not running your own business. Even to the point of like finding new clients, for the most part, the salon should be responsible for that. So, okay, if you choose that route, things in theory, things should be sort of laid out for you. Really, all you're focusing on is just continuously improving your skills, which you should be doing all the time anyway.
Correct. But also you should still be promoting yourself. You should even before you got out of school, you should have your Instagram, your TikToks, all that, promoting your work, having a portfolio of your work. Even if you're not using it to get clientele, is the perfect place for people to go to see what you do.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's a lookbook,
Yes.
We don't have to have the pictures at the desk anymore. They can just scroll through, oh, I like this. Can we do it in purple instead of pink? Yeah, cool. We can do that.
So you need to build your portfolio in that first year as well.
Always. Whether you're going booth rent or commission, because you never know, you're going to switch from commission to booth rent.
Correct. Okay, let's talk about booth rent now, because I feel like there's a lot more to discuss here, because you are on your own. You are now running your own business. What's the first thing to sort out? Obviously, you got to find your location. Let's say you decide, okay, cool, I found my location. Then what are the things that you have to do? Like insurance, you got to do X1, like business license. I mean, what are these things you got to do?
First thing I want you to do is really take a look at, and I don't want to say it in the wrong way. I don't want to say if you're capable, because everybody's capable. If this is the right decision, because from my experience,
Booth renting, you're talking about.
booth renting.
Okay.
From my experience, and I went booth rent, so I'm breaking my own rules, guys.
Right.
You have to have a whole nother level of patience, and in finding the right booth rent kind of place. I fortunately booth rented in a place that had amazing techs who are willing to share their information. But if you're going to go into a suite by yourself, there's different things that you're going to be missing by not being in a salon with other nail techs.
What are those things?
Education, how to run a nail business. A nail business is different than a traditional business. It has its own thing. And I've seen so many that come out of school who are like, I'm going to go straight booth rent, my own business, I'm going to open my own salon. And I would say 99% of the time I have not seen it work.
Yeah.
Because it's a different industry. It's and you don't know what you're doing. No offense, because I didn't.
Right, you're brand new.
You're brand new. So you're not only learning nails, right? You're trying to build your own brand on top of it.
And it's not like there's this traffic, right, that's happening in your own salon suite. It's you and you alone.
You're the marketing, you're the finance, you're the educator.
Inventory
teaching
management.
yourself.
Right.
Though you don't know exactly how to do it. You don't know how clientele can be. You don't know how it's a different world. That being said, I did it myself.
That's what you did.
That's what I did. But I did go into a salon who was willing to help me and teach me, which I was very, very, very fortunate. So that's the first question you have to ask, because there's a lot of patience to learning nails, and you've just put a whole different layer onto it.
Right. So like there's the patience of learning nails, and now you got to have the patience of like building the business, which is a different thing than going into a commissioned salon. So you need that added patience, that layer.
Yeah, get yourself a good mentor. So that just that, and then
Very important.
And now promoting yourself and making sure that you're marketing and doing all these things have even been elevated even more, because now
more important.
we got to build our brand up. This is going to sound bad, okay? I get my nails done at Young Nail Salon, right? And I went to Young Nail Salon, and I did not like my experience from my nail tech. I didn't like my set, and I'm never going back to Young Nail Salon. Now, if you're new to nails, this happens. People will not like your work. We will mess some things up. It happened to me. Now, if it's my salon on top of it, so it's Tracy's Salon, people always remember the salon name. They might not necessarily remember your name. So you got to take that too. Now you're the one, not only they weren't happy with your nails, but now it's put a hit against your salon on top of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just another thing to think about.
Right.
So we got to make sure that we're marketing ourselves well, that we're getting our name out there in the proper form, and that we're building a good name for ourselves.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Which we want anyway, but you see what I'm saying is when we're learning and then it's our business on top of it, it can be a double.
Yeah, of course. What about so if you go into a salon suite from the get-go?
Yep.
What is going to be like some of the key things that one needs to do in that first year, Trace? Because there's a lot of people I know that are like, I don't want to be in a salon, I don't like people. That would be me. I'd be like, I want my own thing. Yeah, you too, for sure.
I want to make my own schedule. I want to be my own boss, and
Yes.
I want to, yeah.
But like this reminds me of like the early days of Young Nails, where would walk into our business and it's like there is no business.
Crickets.
There's no like how do we get customers? We're in this location, and we're not like in a retail. We're trying to find distribution, and how do we go get it? How do we get these customers? Like,
so booth rent, or in a salon or salon suite, this is what you're going to do your first year, first month especially. You're going to go, okay, I'm now responsible for my own product. What are my needs, right? What do I have to have in this place so whenever someone walks through my door, I am ready to go and take their business, right? So we have to start breaking it. It's a lot, right? Okay, we're going to offer pedicures. I need the XYZ. I'm going to offer acrylic. I need XYZ. I'm going to offer gel. I need XY. You are now responsible for your inventory. So you need to make sure it's stocked and ready to go. And this is where you, especially your first year, first coming out of school, this is where we can be taken advantage of, because some people will sell you everything and anything.
Got it.
So we really got to determine, is this a need? Is it really, do I need a lotion warmer? Probably not. So we can break it down, especially if you're, what is your budget?
yeah,
What is your budget? Because huge, important.
Yeah.
How are we going to afford that budget, our rent, with no clients? Because we got to figure we have no clients, and you got to figure you're not going to have clients for a couple months.
right. So you need a reserve,
A plan.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My plan was like, okay, within the first 3 months, this is my 3-month plan, I want to be able to make enough money where I'm independent, meaning I am covering my product and my booth rent. That was my 3-month plan. I just wanted to break even.
Yeah, dude.
I just want to break even.
That should be the first, like, what is my break even point? Should be everybody's like thought when you're starting a business.
Now you also are independent. Do you have your establishment license? Do you have your city license? Do you have your fictitious name? Do you have your insurance, your liability insurance? There's a lot to go with, and what's amazing is now we have Google, we have YouTube, and you can go straight to the city and ask them, but make sure you got your ducks in a row, because you don't want to be, all these things are typically very, it's not that expensive. It's not, but you better have it.
You got to have it. Yeah.
But you better have it. So you got to, okay, what are all the requirements of me being an independent, my own business?
Yeah. And usually it is exactly what you said, Tracy. It's so like some people might be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You just go to the city and you literally say to them, I'm going to be doing, I'm a nail technician. I have my own booth rent. What do I need?
Yep.
They will tell you everything you need.
Super easy. At least when I did it, they were super nice. Told me a couple different places I had to go. Kind of a pain, but not that difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then contact your state board. First thing I would do if I'm going into also a salon and I'm going to booth rent from them, I would double check to make sure they have a establishment license of their own. You got to make, you just want to make sure everything's upfront, dialed.
Yes.
The state require me also to have my own establishment license inside the establishment? All those different things, because when state board walks through the door, you want to feel good.
Yeah.
Not worry about it.
And it's like there are tasks that need to be checked off the list. And like Tracy said, they can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Mm-hmm. Anytime you're dealing with a city, any type of bureaucracy, it's like, well, you have to go to this floor and you have to get this sheet and you have to, then you need fictitious business name. You have to put it in the newspaper. I don't know how it works today. There are services online that will, like LegalZoom, I think does a lot of that. Depending on what state you are, they'll wrap all that up for you in a nice bow. But the best thing is to call your local city and ask them. And then it's just a matter of okay, I got to do A, B, C, D, E, insurance.
Yeah, you know what's a big pain? Getting fined. That's a big pain.
Yes.
Are you going to resell? We need a resale license.
You need a resale license.
What am I from my profits? What am I putting aside for taxes? Because no one's paying your taxes. It's all things you got to think about.
That's a great one. I'm glad you mentioned that. Make sure you are planning for taxes. If usually I wouldn't expect anybody to make a huge profit in the first year, but still you got to track that. Yep.
How much are you setting aside to restock?
Right. Correct.
Reinvesting
to restock.
Yeah.
And then of course, even if you're going into your own booth rent situation, or a booth rent in a salon or in your own suite, again, building a portfolio in that first year, it is so important.
Yep. So the big things right now for you to do is have a lot of patience, do a lot of research, and then whenever you have time, practice.
You've got to practice I think that's like the never ending thing. It is. Like it doesn't stop. In your first year, second year, third year, it's never ending.
I'm doing it 20-something.
20-something years.
Still practice.
And you're still practicing.
Mm-hmm.
There's new technology that comes up. Keeping up on all that is really important. But that's where practice plays a role. Let us know in the comments below if we missed anything in the first year. If you guys have anything that you want to offer, please put in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. Tracy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next time on the Biz Talk.
Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel now. Sub and subscribe and